Alrighty, my adorable anglers. Have you been in a rut deck building since the ban list hit? Don't worry, we all have. If you've been concerned that Spright is absolutely dead because Elf is gone now, it's not! We actually have a really solid build, and this deck can just kind of capitalize on other things post-ban list.
So make sure y'all stick around to the end of the video because we will be doing a full combo tutorial and test hand to show exactly what the deck is capable of post-ban list, even without Elf.
So that being said, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, like the video, and comment what variant of Spright you will be playing this format, if at all, and what deck you will be playing this format.
And don't worry, Live Twin is coming soon.
I know, don't worry. I know there's Tri-Brigade Spriters in the comments already being like, Tri-Brigade Sprite. The 80th iteration of Tri-Brigade will be coming someday. With all that being said, let's crack open a cold can of Spright and take a sample.
Obviously, this is Spright, so we are starting off with triple copies of our Nimble Beaver and double copies of the Nimble Angler.
Damn, bro. It's a fish. Get it? It's beavers. They build dams. Joel!
For anyone who may not know, Nimble Beaver on normal summon only will special summon a Nimble monster from the deck.
Don't worry, you'll always open the Angler, so you won't have to get it. And then if Angler is sent from hand or deck to the graveyard, it can special up to 2 Nimble monsters from your deck.
This is a Link 2, Rank 2, Level 2 deck. This literally just helps you get into any of those utilities that you are looking for. And then we are still on triple copies of the Swap Frog.
God, I can't wait to not recur him with Ronin Totem. Yes, I'm still upset. Losing Elf in this deck meant that you lost a lot of your recursion, but don't worry, we have Totally Awesome, not only for its negate, but because it does have a recursion effect in itself to special summon in the standby phase. So now the deck is going to shift itself to focus more on that effect on top of the negate and the graveyard recursion.
And that is why we are playing the 1 copy of Duke Frog.
He's finally graduated back to the main deck. Get it? Because he's a scholarly boy. He graduated. He got kicked out for a while, but he's back. He re-enrolled. Never give up on your dreams, team, especially ones related to student debt. Don't forget, he's a crappy old card that misses timing 99% of the time. He has a when effect, not an if effect, so don't try to do any shenanigans thinking that you can activate dupe to search or anything like that.
And for what it's worth, 99% of the time, the reason that this card is in the deck is because you want the other frogs in the deck anyways. And worst comes to worst, this is literally just another level 2 monster that is a water that you can pitch for your Swap Frog if you open. And then for our Spright cards, we are on 3 copies of Spright Blue.
No way.
3 copies of our Spright Jet.
Damn, he looks mid as hell next to Blue.
1 copy of Red.
Super.
1 copy of Carrot, and 1 copy of our Pixies.
Why didn't they make these supers? Why did they print the tier cards as supers? They could have literally just made these supers and made everyone's day and deck a lot prettier.
I know a lot of people have cut Pixies from the deck. However, with the format opening back up and we're seeing a lot of Kashtira, a lot of Branded, a lot of Sword Soul again, this is a level Link Rank 2 deck. And you know what that is? Small.
Yeah, because this deck locks you into 2s a lot of the time. 2s are notoriously not very big, so you kind of run into an issue where you can't get over very large bodies very easily, so having a searchable out to that problem is just kind of something this deck needs at this point.
And then for our Spright spells, we are on 3 copies of Spright Starter, and then the 1 copy of our Spright Smashers.
Another absolutely missed opportunity for a super. I literally don't know why this is not a super. Literally, this is ugly. Make it less ugly with a super. Why is there like an eggplant goofy? This card is so ugly. I say it every single profile. Look at it. This card art is a mess.
But you know what it does have? Kit.
Of course it does. Every card. Yu-Gi-Oh is just Kit, hide and seek. Tell me I'm wrong.
If you've noticed, we are not playing the copy of Double Cross in the main deck. Unfortunately, with the reduction of Elf from the extra deck, we do not have that follow-up that we've been talking about, so we have to add additional cards to try to up our consistency. Double Cross, as great of a card as it is unfortunately somewhat of a brick. We chose to maybe side deck or just not play Double Cross at all to up our consistency. And speaking of consistency, we are on triple copies of our Pot of Prosperity. You could make the argument that this could be something like Talents in the main deck. However, this card does allow you to dig 6 deep for any of your extenders. With so many hand traps in the format right now, sometimes seeing that 1 card you need as opposed to 2 cards you may not be able to use is just a little bit more optimal. So once again, consistency reasons, that's why we chose Prosperity.
You know what else is 6 deep? Elf. That was a free one. You're welcome. If you've been around for the last few formats, you know that Spright plays a lot of hand traps, and that hasn't changed. We've just kind of switched up what they're playing now. So with that being said, here's the hand trap lineup.
We are on 3 copies of Nibiru the Primal Being.
Yeah, he doesn't suck this format. Let's go, Hot Rock.
3 copies of our Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring.
Forehead, not feet. Read!
Triple copies of Effect Veiler.
I literally forgot that card existed for a hot minute. Damn.
Scooch these over as we showcase triple copies of basically another Effect Veiler, which is Infinite Impermanence.
That card is so good. Back in my day, Imperm used to be $100. You didn't have to live through that time. Or maybe you did. Comment if you did. I pointed at the camera and you guys can't even see it. Isn't that crazy?
Triple copies of Book of Eclipse and the 1 copy of Call by the Grave.
I heckin' love Kashtira. That's the main deck. All we're really doing now is playing cards for cash because it exists. Anyway, let's get on to the extra deck. deck. That's definitely changed.
Starting off, we have double copies of Sprind. Shout out to Cashtira, making us play double copies of these. You only really need one. But if they go first and they mind hacker the one copy of Sprind, man, that beaver in your hand looks pretty damned.
I don't know. I think this card... I'm sorry, Brian rhymed and it really threw off everything I was just gonna say. I wasn't ready for that. I don't know if it made it to the final cut, but if you did, you heard it and it was super weird. Anyway, what I was gonna say is I think Sprind should have been banned, no cap on a stack. Elf, yeah, sure, you could justify it, whatever, but I think Sprind was way more broken. But I guess they, you know, nerfed the hell out of tier, so nothing matters. Nothing matters.
Speaking of nuking our elf, we have our elf replacements, and that's the one copy of our Bujinki
Ahashima.
And then the one copy of Reprodocus.
Dinosaur.
So let's talk about our elf replacements real quick. Our Bujinki Link here does take 2 monsters with the same level, so keep that in mind. You can't use Link or rank monsters for that summon. And the reason this card replaces elf is because when this card is summoned, you can special summon a monster from your hand and graveyard with the same level, and then after it resolves, immediately Xyz summon.
Wow. Missed opportunity to name him Bujinki Linky.
Aw, that would have been so good.
Whatever, I don't design the cards. I'm just here to give you the sauce after the fact.
Reprodocus has the effect where you can modulate the monsters that it points to by either changing their attribute or their type. So what this necessarily means is that if you do get interrupted, you could take something like a blue that's underneath it and make it an aqua, so you could take your swap and your new aqua monster overlay for Toad. Or if you already went through your Toad and you have an additional like frog left over, you could take your frog and make it a dark and then take something like a blue or a jet and overlay them for the Djinn Buster instead. So this card really does have a lot of application in this deck.
Man, this deck is really still trying its best, isn't it? Didn't people play Reprodocus and like, what was it, Dinosaurs?
Dinosaurs, yeah. You played it to change things to wind monsters.
Yeah, I used to change things to wind. Man, I think that deck profile's still up. You can go dig deep into the archives for that one.
Rip some org.
Rip a lot of things.
Like Kit Kalos. And then because Spright is still seeing a ton of play, we are on the one copy of Dark still. This is just a really great extender.
I don't think Dark will ever be bad. Dark monsters are kind of important in this game.
Even in a cash tier format, I think it's still 1,000,000,000% worth playing Dark. And the one copy of IP to help us make the one copy of our Avermax.
God, what a power couple they are. Just like before in Spright, Avermax is back in the extra deck. It used to be fun for the soft lock shenanigans with Duprog, which we are also now playing, so you can still do those shenanigans now, which I think is hilarious. I love a good cheesy win. But I don't know if this time, if Avermax has been announced as a collector's rare out of Maze of Memories. Yeah, I know that we have some of them, but if he has been confirmed by the time you watch this video, can you please leave a comment and say, thank God Mom is happy? Because, man, if not, I'm gonna be really sad. And I'm tired of being sad.
This is realistically just for our back row matchups because it does help you kind of auto win when your only card can't be targeted.
He's just good eye candy too. He ain't bad to look at. You can admit it.
And then for the Xyz, this is pretty standard here. We're on double copies of our gigantic Spright.
Look at his tiny little knot hands. Okay, Brian and I discovered the other day, this is a total tangent, I'm so sorry. Okay, so like these the little circles on the end of him, those aren't his hands, team.
We totally thought they were his hands.
They're like, this is his fist. I mean, on Master Duel, like, animates it when you summon it. But, like, these are his fists. These are, like, his elbows. I thought he had tiny little circle hands this whole time. And these are just his massive, like, biceps this whole time. I swear to God.
He is gigantic.
Like, tell me you didn't think that these were his little hands. I'm, like, so bummed that he's, like going like this. I thought it was just like, I have tiny little hands. I don't know. I like to think he's more adorable, but you know, it's okay.
I mean, it's Yugioh, right? In Drytron, we got tiny face. Spright, we'd have tiny hands.
Yo, tiny face! Harold, yo, Drytron coming back.
Profile coming soon. We got the one copy of Totally Awesome. Our number 65, Djinn Buster. This takes 2 dark monsters, and then it is a quick effect to detach 2 monsters, and then negate the activation of any monster effect that your opponent activates, and burn for 500. The one copy of Mosquito, because it can help you know, kill.
Bro, I hate this card.
Yeah, this can help you kill.
This card sucks.
Or it can help you just like, you know, not take damage. So
this card is like a real, no, get away. This card is like a real mosquito. It's an a-hole. It's annoying. It sucks the life out of your board. It kills you. I mean, mosquitoes don't kill. I mean, they used to probably.
Yeah.
There was probably a time where they did. But this card's a piece of fly swatter. Anyway, Downard.
Downard, and then double copies of Zeus because you know,
cash money, baby. Y'all gotta get that cash, or they're gonna beat that ass. Now that you've seen what Spright looks like for this format, we're gonna get into a combo because a lot of things have changed now that there's no more elves in Santa's little Spright workshop. All right, team, welcome to Test and Combo Section tutorial part of the video. Wow, that was really hard to say. Anyway, we do this with every single deck profile. We do to show you a realistic showing of what any 5-card hand can do to give you a realistic ceiling as well. So with that being said, Spright has changed a little bit with the combo. So if you're unsure of what the line is now, don't worry, we're gonna show you, baby. So let's shuffle on up, cut on up, and open a can and a 6-pack of nice cold Spright.
That being said, we'll do a few more of these bad boys.
All right, simply be like every single Spright player and open Beaver every time.
All right, we're gonna start off with, boom, Blue Beaver. Oh my God, the combo. One copy of Jet, Smashers, of course. You always open a brick. You always open at least one brick.
One-of, come on.
All right, now we're going to just do what the normal Peepo do. We're going to normal our beaver and activate the beaver's effect. This is going to special summon our copy of Angler from the deck. Wow, you know what's going to be crazy here? A lot of people are going to want to summon your copy of Sprint. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. You know why? Because that plays into Nib, and Nib is in every single person's deck. So instead, we're going to take our blue, and we're going to special summon our copy of blue, activate the blue. This is going to search our copy of Carrot, and now we're going to overlay into our copy of Gigantic. Now, with 4 summons, we can activate Gigantic, detach 1 here. This is going to special summon our copy of Swap Frog. On summon, Swap Frog will activate. This will send another copy of Swap from our deck to our grave. Now we opened the Jet, so we can special summon the Jet and then activate Jet's effect. Jet is going to search our copy of Starter. Now we can take both of these puppies. This is going to link into Sprint, and now we can activate the Sprint here. Move him down a little bit there, buddy. This is going to send Angler, and then Angler is going to summon a Beaver, and you guessed it, a Beaver.
Damn!
Now we can activate the Swap Frog, bounce itself back, and now we can take our 2 monsters with the same level. Crazy. This is gonna make our copy of Bujinky Linky.
Bujinky Linky.
This is gonna activate. We can special summon our copy of Swap, and then, you know, wow, another copy of Swap immediately after. We are going to take these bad boys, overlay them into our copy of Totally Awesome. Now we're going to take our Carrot and we can special summon that freely right here. We have 2 options. We can save the starter for the red, or we can activate the starter and get the red now. But as we said before, we really do want to have that follow-up with our copy of Totally Awesome. We're going to leave this zone free. We're just going to set 2, and this is our interaction. We have Ash in hand. We kept the Gigantic on board specifically so that when our opponent special summons, we have the Sprint. So we have Sprint to bounce 1. We have Carrot to tribute, negate, and destroy. On our opponent's standby phase, we'll activate the Toad, detach. This is going to special out our copy of Dupe Frog here. So whether you Carrot tribute this or whether you Toad tribute the Dupe Frog to negate something, now Toad is still on the board. You can activate the starter now, grab the red, you'll take the 1200 life points, and as we said, you can either Carrot, contribute this to negate, or you can just Smashers after you've activated the Sprint to detach and bounce 1. This can then banish the starter, and
literally
then it can,
anything.
Yeah, literally banish this. Now you have a free zone. Hopefully this is enough. I mean, that's like 6 interruptions.
Yeah, I mean, plus Ash.
Plush Ash. So what we're gonna do...
Plush Ash.
So what we're going to do here is hopefully we're going to get to our standby phase. We are going to detach from the Toad here. This is going to special our remaining monster from the deck. This is why we wanted to play that additional frog, because now during our turn, we do have the copy of Totally Awesome as a negate, and you don't know if they're going to beat over the red or beat over the Carrot, if you're going to be able to use the red to tribute the Carrot or any of that stuff. You have no idea what's going to be left over. Plus, we opened Smasher, so we got to get to starter, which means that we had the additional body, so theoretically, you don't know what you're always going to have or not have access to.
And from here, since we've just kind of shown you like a 3-turn combo, you can really do literally anything at this point. You're obviously killing your opponent, and there's a lot of ways you can do it, which is a lot of fun. So good news is you end with a buttload of monsters and options.
And the reason we wanted to showcase getting that frog is because now you can just overlay these for your copy of Gigantic. And let's say they beat over your entire board except Toad, you still have a way to get to your Mosquito with Blue, Jet, an additional body, and then kill them through everything.
I don't even think they're getting that far, because at this point, it's your turn, you're just killing them. Like, through 87 interruptions that you just did on the previous turn, I don't think they're getting to a point where your board is in a fragile state. This deck is super crazy. So don't sleep on this format. Keep playing Spright. The deck is extremely versatile and really strong. And that's the deck. Obviously, the deck is still super duper strong. You just have to kind of modify the way you play, which is how Yu-Gi-Oh is. And that's the best part, is you having to change your strategy and adapt, team. So with all that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let us know what deck profiles you want to see us update for this format. Thank you so much for watching this video. We love you. You matter. We'll see you guys in all these fun videos over here. Make sure you go check them out. Bye!